The Duke of Athens, Theseus, wants to marry Hippolyta, the queen of Amazons. The Athenian Egoist demands from his daughter Hermia, who has to marry Demetrius, who on his part asked to marry her in the past, but Hermia loves Lysander. The Duke gives her an ultimate. She has to decide in the next 4 days to choose between Demetrius, live in a convent, or a death sentence. Hermia decides to escape with Lysander into the surrounding forest the next day. Hermia reveals Helena, a good friend of her, their escape plan, but Helena also tells Demetrius, because she loves him since she was once engaged to him. Now Helena hopes to get his gratitude. Meanwhile, there are 6 Athenian craftsmen meeting together for practicing the play, Pyramus and Thisbe, to be played for the Duke at his wedding. They arrange to meet the next evening in the forest. Complications arise in the forest. Oberon and Titania, king and queen of fairies, are locked in a dispute over a boy, whom Titania has adopted. Oberon instructs his servant Puck to bring him magic love drops, which Oberon will sprinkle on the queen's eyelids as she sleeps, whereupon Titania will fall in love with the first creature she sees upon awakening. Meanwhile, Helena and Demetrius have also fled into the woods after Lysander and Hermia. In the forest, Demetrius is chased by Helena's love oath. Oberon takes pity upon her and tells Puck to give some love drops to an Athenian, who is followed by a woman. He does the same with Titania, who is now sleeping in the forest. Puck finds Hermia and Lysander, who sleep in the forest, and thinks Lysander is the Athenian he has to find, and sprinkles love drops on his eyelids. Helena stumbles over Lysander, who awakes and falls in love with her, forgetting Hermia. The craftsmen are assembled and want to start rehearsing, when Puck implicitly casts a spell on Bottom to give him the head of a donkey. The craftsmen are afraid and escape from the forest. Bottom is the first thing Titania sees when she awakens. Hence, Bottom ends up being lavishly kept by the queen. This makes Oberon very happy. Now Oberon takes note of Puck's mistake and makes sure that Demetrius also falls in love with Helena. Now both are loving Helena and not Hermia anymore. Helena understandably feels that she is now being mocked by both Demetrius and Lysander, who is still magically enamored of her. As all fall asleep again, Puck sprinkles the magic love drops on Lysander's eyelids so that he falls in love with Hermia again. The next morning, Theseus, Hippolyta and Egoist find them, and Theseus decides to invite them to his wedding. Finally, Oberon decides that all good sports must come to an end. He gives Titania the antidote, and Puck releases Bottom from his donkey head. At the end, the king and queen reconcile. Likewise, Bottom returns to his place, and they perform Pyramus and Thisbe at a wedding feast, which has since become a wedding of 3 couples.